From the Ivory Tower Populism channel, this is video 8, Reflections on the Federalist Capital-Owning Democracy, or Principles to Get Power to the People. Let's think about each of these three principles separately. Democracy is critical as it gives power to the masses over the elite politicians. It means majority rule. Democracy has at least two benefits. It makes government more responsive to the people, less corrupt, and it encourages citizens to invest in their government and society as they have an actual stake in it. Hence, we probably need another federal voting rights bill to increase participation and security, reduce gerrymandering, reduce voter suppression and ballot harvesting, but more bipartisan than H.R. 1. Federalism means people can vote with their feet by choosing the locality that best fits their tastes and provides the best goods for them. Federalism means citizens are free to relocate within the republic. That is, they are free to leave and free to arrive. Applying this concept to economics gives us the Tebow model, which asserts that if it's sufficient to have multiple jurisdictions, each providing certain club goods, then competition between jurisdictions for residents, who then pay property taxes, will lead to optimal outcomes. This is based on quite a few assumptions that we'll talk about later. In order to have federalism, the local jurisdictions must be different in order to offer citizens a real choice. The smaller and more local, the greater the choice for citizens. With federalism, whatever you want, be it red or blue state priorities, you can have it greater and faster. With federalism, local control is more direct, and you more directly feel the consequences of your policy choices. Federalism relates directly to the concept of club goods from video 3. There's an optimal size of goods provision that maximizes the benefit for local residents. The focus of local managers, such as for a cooperative or association, is to determine the size of the club with the most desirable cost and consumption sharing arrangement. Determining which goods are most desired by the members and increasing the capacity, utilization, and quality of such goods are essential. Capital ownership is more than a laissez-faire free market. In a free market, one might rent an apartment or work for a company without any ownership stake. The free market might give us a substantial number of people with no ownership in their place of residence or their work. In fact, an unregulated free market means owners will stack the deck to guarantee their ownership is preserved. Having a large number of workers and residents without equity is potentially unstable for a society, as people are not personally invested in the success of these important organizations. The only people who defend the concept of property rights are those with property. But there could also be a kind of capital ownership of public policy. We could transform how we make public investments in public education, public housing, public health. We could create a third form of financing, not the pure private mode, low taxes so you can put your money into any stupid things you want, and not the quasi-socialist mode, high taxes so you put your money into distant enterprises that are managed by elitist overlords that have no connection to you or your values. This third form of financing is a hybrid, constituting private claims on public infrastructure. Between high and low taxes is mandated savings, investing in public resources, the infrastructure bank and municipal bonds on steroids. In fact, this could even be integrated into our social security system. Interestingly, while democracy means majority rule, federalism and capital ownership also protect minority rights. We can invest in public enterprises that are consistent with our values, and we can relocate to localities that reflect our values. But to reduce the power of the people, the elites reduce federalism. They federally standardize many public policies so that we cannot flee the consequences of their policies. It seems for many elites, the point of politics is not to create their world, it's to prevent others from creating theirs. Reduce democracy. Even while more people are able to vote, even felons and illegal immigrants, everybody's vote has less impact on the direction of the country and on their own lives. Instead, more of the actual policy making comes from unelected bureaucrats, agencies, and judges. And reduce capital ownership. They enact policies requiring that the central government make more capital allocation decisions and with no demands for accountability for results. Public schools, public policing, public health, and public housing all get federal funding regardless of graduation rates, crime rates, mortality rates, or buildings not being up to code. While we collectively need to fight against the elites stacking the deck, individually we really need to maximize our own power, which is a lot more than we like to pretend. For example, some people might flee a particular locale because of crime or lack of jobs, and then vote for the same policies that were implemented where they left. The truly empowered individual will ensure that they vote consistently between their ballot, their feet, and their capital. The person that supports all three of these principles consistently will be most empowered. And these are the references for this lecture. And until next time,